system that the people who run America, that they use to conquer the world, that is the art of Babylon.
One step forward, two step backward. Down in a Babylon.
I am convinced that the Americans have not found even a speck of evidence to justify or to substantiate their actions.
Clean shape, onward, forward, don't step backward. Step out of Babylon.
America is the Babylon that they speak of in the Bible, because as they say, Babylon was one of the great. Babylon is the greatest. And right now, America sits as world power, which is the strongest nation of all nations right now.
This is the time of decision.
We know the value of people, and we sit by and watch Babylon destroy human beings by the hundreds, by the thousands, by the millions.
Babylon, onward, forward, don't step backward.
America doesn't love Rasta, because what we stand for is totally against what they represent. This is Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? So they couldn't love us because we preach against their philosophy.
The road to righteousness is narrow.
Rasta, using the word Babylon, expresses the entire Western system, not only of oppression, but of corrosion, the erosion of values, you know, the materialism, the selfishness, capitalism, and that you know, search for profit over personhood, and those kinds of things. So that everything relating to this system, everything that maintains and opposes the system, is part of the system of Babylon.
You step into New York, you say this is a material world. You look at the people around, you look at the building, you look at how the people live, you say this is a material world. You don't feel any spirituality in that world. Greed, wealth and power is what Babylon seek. And I seek wisdom, knowledge and understanding, life. Jah build the rivers for the preservation of life. The trees, the herbs, all these things for the preservation of life. The big, massive, ugly buildings that they have in these Babylonian systems, these are not for preservation of life. These are symbols of wealth and material power and rulers of other people, enslavers of other people and other people's generations.
Rasta has a critique, not just of you know, white, but also the world and how the world is going and so on, and a lot of people are beginning to think in these terms as well.
Bob Marley love and study Rastafari culture and Rastafari way of life, and him spread it around the world. Him teach everyone. Him carry the message go right around the world.
It's a political thing that you use the music and you use whatsoever is necessary to propagate this philosophy.
I am the man you love to hate. I used to sit down at the slums of Ghost Town and Trench Town, Bakawal. No clothes to hide my nakedness. Filth and mosquitoes smelling, biting 400 years of black flesh.
In order for people hear Mutabaruka message, Mutabaruka had to take the poetry out of the book and put it to music.
Crucifix, choking on your life of neocolonialistic attitudes. Yes, I am the man that came in clouds of ganja smoke, choking you to death, yet not killing you. My eyes seen a black god, casting doubts in your mind about your unexposed spiritual being.
I'm on the radio not because I'm a poet, but because I have a lot of things to say.
We have a message to the people in New York. Because we talk to the people in Jamaica every Wednesday night. We want to talk to the people in New York because we see 500 odd people dead, murdered since the year starting in Jamaica. And most sides is gun crime, and Jamaican people don't make gun. So you always have to the people in New York now. Stop setting the barrel down there and the TV down there with gun in it. And the fridge them will have gun in it because it's the gun them who not claim say Jamaica not kill themselves off.
The first connection that most people outside of Jamaica have with Rastafari is through the music. And the music has played a very key role in sending out, propagating the Rastafari message.
I did an interview with Bob Marley once and I asked him, what is reggae music? And he described reggae music as a heartbeat music. It's a human being music. Once you got a heart, you must love reggae music.
Reggae music is deriving from a culture, a people, a time and a roots wherein even from the time of Israel, David would know to sing and play upon the harp and give thanks and praises unto the Most High for redemption. And I mean reggae music in this day and age is what we a people from a time of slavery transferring to the Western Hemisphere. We've been doing songs from the cotton field, the cane field. Reggae music was is the latest form of our music which express our liberation, our life, our love and our heritage and our roots and culture. Now the dancehall music which is up lately today is more over-exerting, if by chance, if I can say so really, but still it's a music which people still trying to evolve and having their own space and time in the world. Sometimes things may be a bit overdone, but still it's a music of relating to their own personal life and condition.
Yeah man, I fire my name and we burn fire with flame. See what I go on when I play a game. Lifestyle, worthwhile, some are worthwhile. See the evil work from a mile. Africa, they take with them and go over soil. Start with the air of feeding gas and them oil. Can't bury up
the dancehall music today may seem to be at times a bit harsh, but it's just that some people may not really want him to be saying it in a more subtle way.
About representing Jamaican black people, the culture, doing the music. And you don't know, we give thanks to the Father to give the strength and the health time. We now start representing reggae music, dancer. What are we doing with the Yo, Babylon is everywhere, man. The world is filled with Babylon. But you know, we Jamaicans, we know how to deal with it. We keep it jiggy.
I want to say this straight, that Babylon is not a place. Babylon is a state of mind. Babylon is confusion. So if you are confusing yourself, then your own self is Babylon. You understand? The earth, the laws and the fullness thereof, man. So we try creation anywhere we're there.
Well, it's good to teach Babylon goodness because our music is all about love. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Reggae music preach love, peace, harmony, make the hungry be fed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infants cared for. That is what reggae music does. Reggae music is not about gun and violence.
Them should have a street dance in every community. And we try to tell them that. We tell them that we preach that to them. We say, watch a man. The more music is the less crime. More music, less crime. Them don't understand the psychology of that. Them don't understand the sociology of that.
Babylon to me is a system. And if Babylon is a system, I'm resisting against hell, yeah.
This system, Babylon, can do everything except one thing, blow breath. Yeah, so the higher power have full control of that.
Thank you.
Reggae music has been established as a message music, and until today the message is still needed. There is a rooted foundation that reggae has really established from a long off, with the great works of Honorable King Robert Nesta Marley and Mr. Dennis Brown and all the other pioneers and icons who have laid the foundation for us. What we see happening is the frivolousness and the profanity that we see taken up in the music. It is also taken up in the minds of the people. And where they have turned their backs on the Almighty God, then the force of evil will take hold of them. And this is what is happening. Because they reject the truth, falsehood is amassing on humanity. It is Babylon's constant effort to demoralize and to depreciate the works of I know that. That's why they fight with certain books, they fight the music, they do not spend as much as they should on reality music as they spend on dancehall racks. As a Rasta man, I have to defend the rights of the people. I have to sing what I know is best for my conscience. It's not about money. It's my hobby to sing for Jah and to sing for the people. It's my love and my passion, you know. When we take a vow, like we take a Nazareth vow, as we read it in Numbers 6 in the Bible, it tells us that when we take a vow, we put no more razor on our head, we eat no red meat, no bloody meat, no strong liquor, no alcoholic beverages, and we stay away from death and all those things. We stick to the right, to the light, to the positive, and live upright, you know.
One of the things I don't like, which I must support Lucian in saying, is there's a tendency that when dancehall music is happening, it shows a lot of disrespect to what they call reggae, because them say reggae is Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and Dennis Brown, and so that would include me and Lucian and Barry Samanto. Whereas there should be none, because we set the foundation for that to come. And it has to come, but we're always hoping and praying that it will come and be sensible so it can last for generations.
If and when he's gonna have his share. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. I just can't do it. Rasta will always find the roots, you know. You might see man with ear and natty and long down them back and thing. But the more they dig to their hearts to find the roots, is the more they will run away from Babylon. So not because you see a man with locks or growing them chunks, don't really mean that he's a die-hearted Rasta man. You know, so when I want to find Jah, him seek to find Jah in the ice mountain where Jah dwells. Rastafari.
Thank you.
Just do a drop.
Bob Marley embraced all houses of Rastafari, you know. For Bob Marley never segregate nor specialize. Bob Marley was a Nyabingi man. Bob Marley was Ethiopian Orthodox. Bob Marley was 12th tribe. Bob Marley was just a Rasta man. And for me say Haile Selassie, Bob Marley was with you. Bob Marley was a musician, but first and foremost, Bob Marley was a Rasta man. It's true Bob Marley faith in Haile Selassie why he could even produce the music that him do and reach the heights that he did. Because it's true, him exalt Rastafari.
Haile Selassie to me higher than God, you know. God is illusion. God is whatsoever God wants to be. I don't know, but Haile Selassie to me gone beyond God.
Most Rastas would in fact credit Leonard Howell, Le Premier Rasta, as being the one to initiate the insight, you know, and to proclaim it.
Upon the advent of the name of Rastafari in the coronation, 2nd of November 1930, preached before by Marcus Garvey. You heard of that man? I know you must have. There were some people in his organization that were keen students and were listening to that man's voice, who uttered 3 years before 1930, look to the east for the crowning of a black king. Because whenever this king is crowned, you shall know, you, the listener, the observer, shall know that your redemption is nigh, which means near to come.
Leonard Howell He was a Marcus Garveyite. He used to be in Marcus Garvey organization. And Marcus Garvey used to talk about Rastafari. Rastafari is the name of Haile Selassie before he was emperor. He used to talk of this Rastafari and talk about this king. That when this king rise up in Ethiopia, you have to know it's a black man will redeem. So in 1930, when Haile Selassie was crowned, most of these Marcus Garveyites started to look for this man as the king that was spoken about. And then these people was reading the Bible.
1930, the 2nd of November, according to what is written, that prophecy was fulfilled in the coronation of Negus Nagesti, Gimare, the emperor, king of kings and lord of lords, to the ascension of the throne of David in Addis Ababa, witnessed by 100 nations at large, England, France, all the modern industrial developed nations, have it on record the tape, were there at the Negus coronation. No, it did not mean immediately people started to praise Rastafari. No. Out of the UNIA, a fragment who were keen observers took unto themselves the coronation and hold on to the Bible like I and I is doing now and declare the scripture, behold the Lion of Judah has come, and start to worship him now in the ordinance of the Nyabingi, as we are referring to. We're into the bushes. Hey, come together, but you don't find no cigarette. You don't find no liquor. You don't find no man of behave ungodly.
Once you adopt the Bible and the belief in the Bible and so on, you see yourself in the Bible. And that's what Rasta has done. Very much seen itself as the chosen, and God working it out right now, and Babylon is here, not then, and so on.
Marcus Garvey is the Pan-Africanist part of Rastafari. Haile Selassie is the theological part of Rastafari.
Our education is through our liberty, and we have books to that we read and teach the people still, but we don't really get involved with Babylon instead we're trying to be part of Babylon, or we're trying to change Babylon. Because through the prophecy we know that Babylon must fall.
They don't believe, they say, they know. So it's a question of belief and knowledge, and there would not be therefore a religion in that sense. It would be more a livity, what they call a livity. It's a way of life, a revelation that consumes them and puts them on a different particular path, for wholesomeness and integrity.
Liberty is a way of life, how you live, how we live on a day-to-day liberty, or live life, That is what we call liberty. The food we eat, how we keep ourselves fit and healthy, and we eat vital food, and mental and physical and spiritual fitness. That is what we call the liberty, our way of life.
There are different nuances among them. Take the Bobo Shanti, for example.
Rastafari.
What they've done is to put King Emmanuel as part of the triune God. So, God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Selassie, Marcus Garvey, and Emmanuel.
Well, Rastafari is the unity and love of black people, That is the first meaning of Rastafari. Unity and love of black people get together, self-awareness, self-reliance. You don't depend on the next nation to do nothing for you, you have to depend on your own. Marcus Garvey speak of it. Self-awareness, self-reliance, self-confidence.
The Bobo Shanti are governed by ritual from waking to sleeping, by their life in the commune is a ritualized life. The Nyabingi are not quite like that. They integrate in the communities in which they live as individuals, as artisans and craftsmen, and now, of course, as professional people. The 12 tribes similarly integrate themselves wherever they go. Bobo Shanti is influential, for example, through the recent DJ artists that have taken to manifest the Bobo way of life.
Holy Manuel Haile Selassie, Rastafari. Yeah man, I live and reigns and rule all thing. You know, we burn bada, we burn them hurt and joy. Yeah man, we all burn them high and low place, we burn dirty heart and all smiling face. I want to them, who them? We know them and four big them up, we boo them and number two them all at him and screw them. Blessed, wanna see it and go home, yo.
People like Capleton and Sizzler and so on, I mean, that is very influential, the fireborn trend. 12 Tribes is also influential. It's particularly influential among the middle classes. It somehow provides a kind of discipline which is attractive to many members of the middle class.
The Spirit of Jesus has been revealed in His Imperial Majesty, coming from the lineage of King Solomon. For the 12 tribes, it's a Bible thing.
If you read the Bible one chapter every day from Genesis 1 to Revelation 22, you'll realize that all men are born equal, but some will rise above the other. Hence the reason we have doctors, lawyers, politicians, presidents, etc., etc. But they are all human beings like us. The organization attracted people from all different levels, from the grassroots to the highest level. And that is what the House of Israel is all about. A body of people coming together, not a body of one people, a body of many different people, nation, kindreds and tongue.
The 12 tribes are, as they say, 12 tribes, and interpret the 12 tribes of Israel as the black people divided into the 12 tribes. They are here in this exile.
12 tribe is Christian. Bobo Shanti worship Prince Emmanuel. Ayabingi worship Empress Ayabingi in Central Africa. You know what I'm saying? Historically, they are not Abyssinian. They are West African that we, Abyssinian, the Yacobites, convert them in Jamaica to become Rastas. In this 2000, the last days, each one go back to his own vine and fig tree. So they choose Africa, they choose other sentiment, you know what I'm saying? So, although they claim Rasta, I don't fight against them, but I don't respect, I don't trust them.
My only disappointment is that all the organizations have not managed to get together as one. Because His Majesty did say, we must organize and centralize and do the work. And if you ask me today, I would still say that Rastafarian in Jamaica and the world at large have still not yet come together in quite the way we should have by now.
My name is Ras Sidney Da Silva. I am the elected president of the Rastafari Centralization Organization. The RCO is an umbrella organization which take care of the various houses and mansions of Rastafari. It was a command given by His Imperial Majesty in 1961 to organize and centralize the Rastafari movement and also create an economical base for our development. This is the only organization that the Prime Minister of Jamaica write to until we were having a meeting and invite us there.
Rasta has not been able to get any political clout.
At this point in time, on paper, we have 17 houses and mansions and organization of Rastafari.
In fact, the movement is somewhat resistant to that kind of a centralization that could give it a political clout. It doesn't have that.
I'm not making an excuse for neither 12 tribe, Bobo, Orthodox or any Rastafari organization. Everyone falls short along the way. Everyone. So that should clear everything. That put everybody in the same category.
The goal of the Rastafari Centralization Organization is to unify the forces of Rastafari people and to seek to promote His Majesty's theocratic government. Our task is to find a better way of life for our people, and not just Rastafari people, but black people in general. My personal challenge is to make the Rastafari brothers and sisters know that we cannot achieve our goal unless we do it together.
Every man is said by any means necessary. So every man is fighting for them own front. You understand? Different man see it a different way. That's why that's the beauty of Rastafari. That I go to talk to you right now, so your man go down and contradict everything when me I say. And then when him done until he says, Selassie is the Almighty. Yeah, that's the beauty about it.
It's important we have that unity in diversity, but it's not going to work, man. Because Daniel saw a vision of a statue made up of clay, gold, copper, didn't live together. You see, and Rasta is grassroots, but it's intellectual doctrine. It's academic, you know what I'm saying? And they're not prepared to accept the role education play.
It is not surprising that brethren and sisters will have different ideas of how to basically do the same thing. But at the end of the day, it is about one God, one aim, one destiny, one Emperor Haile Selassie for us all. So put everything else aside, that's the goal.
In the houses, which is mansions, because in my house there are many mansions. School of Vision is one of them, and it is Johnny Comes Lately, existing from about 95, somewhere there, until now. You have the Nyabingi order in different concepts, the dreaded Nyabingi order. You have Nyabingi at Scotch Park, you have Bobo, Shanti out in Bull Bay, you have the 12 tribes, you have Judah Captive, you have many. Not to mention the many that you might also have in New York, in that area. But what we look at now, we search for one truth, one word, that there's no schism.
For the Nyabingi, there is only one spirit, and that is Selassie himself. And there is no trinity that is different from Selassie.
When you are under the argument of a Nyabingi ordinance, 1, 2, the restrictive power of the cross, every evil is bound.
The head of the Nyabingi order is who? His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Caught you here. Yeah. So every Rastaman, as long as him say, his Emperor Haile Selassie is the Almighty, him actually become a part of the Nyabingi order.
Nyabingi is an order from Uganda, from to Ethiopia. The sound of the Nyabingi means dead to white oppressor. The Nyabingi comes with a chant and a music that is funde repeater and bass drum. That is the basis of the Nyabingi music. When you go to a Nyabingi, you see the bonfire blazing and you see the drums chanting for days and days and days. And this is used in invoking a certain spirit. Dead to oppressor, dead to the Pope, dead to the Prime Minister, dead to George Bush, dead to Saddam, dead to Al-Qaeda. These kind of chants go up for days and days, you know, because we see all of these systems. It's just part of the same system.
The Nyabingi are also influential because of their presence in many communities, in urban and rural life, and the rituals that they have on these anniversaries of whether His Majesty's birthday is the coronation, Marcus Garvey's birthday, and so on.
Jah, Rastafari, Pride I Selassie, do us lead to just bless up our flesh mothers out there in Pride I Selassie, our flesh fathers in Pride I Selassie.
We are from His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie School of Vision, Bible Study, Prophecies and Sabbath Service.
Jah, Rastafari, Jah, Rastafari. Let the enemy persecute I and I soul and take it.
Yeah man, we live here, we farm on the farm and we sell some roots wine and stuff like that.
And lay my honor in the dust, Selah.
This is a repatriation center from here to Palestine, the New Jerusalem. Priest will tell you all about it.
Rastafari. Rastafari.
I'm here especially for one purpose, repatriation. Meaning within the context of 207, by that time, I'm not looking to be here beyond 207 in this position. We're looking to be in Palestine, Mount Zion, geographically speaking. That's why I tell you terrible things going to happen before we leave here in Chariots of Fire.
You have also prepared for him the instrument of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Jah,
Rastafari.
Jah,
Rastafari. Rastafari.
Jah,
Rastafari. King Selassie. Rastafari. Rastafari. Rastafari.
Imperial Majesty.
Emperor Haile Selassie.
Good night, our Most High.
I came here just being humble because I had started learning how to read in prison. I didn't even know how to read when I went to prison. I had money, I had material things, but yet not knowing how to read so good. Could read a little, but not good. In prison, I learned how to read very well, so it humbled me, made me humble. So I came here to Jamaica with a humble mind, humble spirit, yet open mind.
This is not the full definition of the name Rastafari. Improper, it is knowledge plus lax and beard for the proper Rastology.
Lord God, the Rastafari shall come when he right of his people, and this man was born here. As the singers as well as the players of instruments shall be there. All their springs are in thee. Ja! Rastafari! Tetragrammaton, ja! Rastafari! Tetragrammaton, ja! Rastafari!
King Selassie! When I was in the States, I had left praising Jesus and went over to the Muslim faith, praising Allah. I wasn't comfortable there because I kept asking questions but couldn't get the proper answers. So therefore I drifted over into another worship of Hebrew Israelite, which they pray to the Almighty Father of Yahweh, which is God, ancient name from long time. So actually I see I was getting closer and closer to the Almighty. So coming here to Jamaica now, I met the true Almighty God by meeting the priest. When the priest and me shake hand together, the priest told me this. He said, I feel a sense of power coming from you, a sense of energy. He gave me some simple explanation towards the School of Vision, which is our school now. Gave me some explanation towards the hills. Gave me a diagram of the Star of David. That's the 5-point star that represents America, and those things kind of like sparked the fire inside me.
The practitioners of the World Secret Order is the compass and the square. That is the tools for the lodge, Freemasonry, Illuminati.
From the studies that I've studied so far, USA, and the interpretation that I've got of USA, it means under satanic authority.
That is where I was trained, 1975. And did my military stint up until 1981. Going to America. And in America, I got my conversion. The military and my training, I think now was very good for me and was vital and necessary for even the work that I'm doing now in School of Vision, which means the shepherding of the people and this militancy, not meaning guns and bombs and things. We don't deal with those weapons. Our weapon is not carnal, but the spiritual weapons we deal with.
I'm a part of School of Vision. School of Vision meaning Bible study, prophecies, stuff like that. A holy set of people that have put themselves together to serve the Lord from the Bible.
We here now are bound by mainly one thing, farming. We that are here now in this habitation for repatriation, by wisdom know now that seeing that we're going to be cut off or ostracized, seeing that we don't want this mark, our only way out is to have our own food. Knowledge now is speaking food. Why? Food is a fuel that sustains the flesh. And the Bible declares that, and he calls it all, whether you're large or you're small, white, black, rich or poor, if you don't take the mark, you're not going to be able to buy or sell, mean trade. Man trade not only through minerals or resource, man trade labor. That means even your job will be at stake. So now, the chip is actually the one that the Bible warned them of. They're not going to be aware of it. Lucifer through the media. And they have already started it. Going to publicize the chip as the most coveted thing. They're already doing it in America with the children now from being kidnapped. They are using it now in what you call now wildlife preservation. I am aware of these things. So when the time comes now, and mankind already is a materialist by his nature, it's going to take the chip. You know why? If you don't take the chip, you'll have to face one man. And that man is King Selassie. The whole world said the man is dead. And I have more things to say against him. Him evil, him drink blood, him do asa. So he will come to convince them. I cannot change it. I can only try to shine some light.
The Bible isn't the only source of inspiration. And for many, the Bible don't even figure. What figures is interpretation of current events. Rastas are very current, and are constantly interpreting, their beliefs through current activities. So the idea of a chip, you know, comes in, it fits in, they seek to fit it into the whole belief structure and so on.
But the Rasta man is the shepherd of Israel. He sits on the wall or the fence, always looking out for Israel and utter that Israel don't go down in folly.
They have not said that before them. Seal, Selassie, behold, Jah Rastafari's many helper. Be with them and those uphold it our soul, whether even unto enemy, cut them off thy true touch. When I will freely sacrifice unto thee, thou most high King Selassie, for it is good, for he deliver us out of all terror, and let our eyes see the desire upon the enemy. Holy Emmanuel Emperor Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Lives and reigns and rule all things. Cut and clear, gossa bada bada, red.
One order. But damn, Eden and Shada. More love, more life.
Hey! Bless.
The herb that is called ganja couldn't be jug. It is a natural tree that sustains itself through heat, air, and water, and is the holiest out of all earth plant.
The ganja was brought and disseminated here by Indian indentured workers in the 19th century. It quickly spread among the rural working class and in the rural communities, but was adopted by the emerging Rastafari in the city as a way of, as a sacrament.
Yeah! Rastafari, bless upon I, thy Father, bless upon I, guide I and protect I, thy Father, bless upon I. Yeah! Rastafari, King Alice, Lucy I, seal.
Whether town or country, middle class or working class, any young man that begins to question life, that looks beyond what is manifest and seen, inevitably gravitates to Rastafari.
I moved to the United States in the early 80s when I was about 9 years old. The life I was living was the life of a heathen, you know, the life of an evildoer, a person who really didn't know God. Thought I did, but really didn't, you know what I'm saying? And therefore, the God that I thought I knew as being God, who I was praying to was actually Satan. So therefore, my acts was of him. I was put in prison for riding with a concealed firearm. I was a convicted felon and I was not supposed to have a firearm in my possession. So therefore, I was driving down the street, had it in the car, the officer stopped me. So prior to that, I had done a series of things, you know, like I've stole cars, I've broke into houses, you know. I've done practically everything, sold drugs, you know. I've shot people, I've done all the things that evil people do, you know what I'm saying? I lie, I always think about stealing, always think about getting over, you know? I was a gangster, you know, I was a thug, as they call it. Tupac would say you a thug. I would consider myself one. As you can see, I got a bunch of tattoos and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? All tatted and hatted, because that's what they say, you gotta be tatted if you a thug. We have been taught evil. Well, if we were taught good, I'm quite sure our actions would have been of good. But therefore we was taught evil, so evil is what comes out of us, majority. There's a few that escape, you know, that happen to go off into the commercial areas and, you know, venture off where they get a good job and stuff. But the majority of the black people throughout the country, not just America alone, but everywhere, is violence and rage. So that means that has to be what they learned, you know? It has to be. And where did they get it from? They got it from the slave master mentality. America is not alone in the slave thing.
Rasta's influence has been in the mind. That's where its influence is. In how it has changed thinking, the assumptions that people make. That's where the influence has taken place. I mean, you have to look back 40 years ago at the end of the colonial era and to see how people thought about themselves and so on, and realize, and now a complete different scenario.
I was in prison up until December 26, 2000. I believe the Father, the true Almighty God, Emperor Selassie, was ready for I. So being that he was ready for I, he took me from amongst the wolves, you know. Lately, I haven't really been spending that much time at Zion Hill because I've been trying to get myself together in a way where I would like to go up there and set my house together. I make my money from hustling some illegal gas. I have to admit that it's illegal because why? I'm a truthful man now, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's legal when I know it's not. It's illegal. If the school felt like they wanted me to stop it right now, I would just stop, not thinking, not even a second thought towards it or anything, you know? It's basically based on survival. Because when you look on the economic scale for Jamaica, we are below poverty level. That means we're supposed to be suffering bad. But because we have this specialness about our island, because as you know, Haile Selassie came here to visit, so he blessed us up. As you know, this was the first place that Rastafari found out that Emperor Haile Selassie is the Almighty God. So therefore, this little small place where you see here, what they call an island, is where you call where Jamaica, which is the proper pronunciation feed. So that them kind of things that I attribute to it, bless it up. So we are a set of blessed people, you know.
Psalms 89, verse 15 declare, blessed are the people that know the joyful sound. Blessed are, in particular, reference to a special people. It is a church, Christ and the angels and his people. I want to be there, my brother. I don't want to dance all. Dance all going to be destroyed with fire.
It is in practice now, Emperor Haile Selassie, school of vision, Bible studies, prophecies, Sabbath worship, where all are welcome, and I'm Priest Dermot Fagan that expresses the banner. And it is now the Sabbath worship in regards to Exodus 20 verse 8 that admonishes that we are to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So this is our offering. I have been here now for 5 years and more, every Sabbath day, without missing any of those days. But there's a reason for it. It is by commandment why I am here, and it is in respect to the microchip that is already in circulation, but not in mass circulation, and we are expecting it. And we know this to be the mark of the dreaded beast, which is speculated for years now, and it is in accordance with the revelation. It is one world order already, but it is not properly announced and organized, because in most of these countries you have the secret order, which means the groups of people that rule us. And everything that I'm doing here and preparation for our repatriation is based on the expectation that by 2007, under the Western calendar, bringing it in equation to the Ethiopic calendar to 6,000 Adamic age. We are looking for the computers to shut down. We are looking for worldwide chaos, because the red, gold, and green is an international and a universal status. Now, when you research the red, gold, and green, it brings you to one throne, throne of David. And this is not for bias, it is the truth. It brings you to one king, Negos Nageste, Gimawe, King of kings and Lord of lords. No one can avoid it. There are others that share the same belief that within a certain time frame, we will be out of here. And this expression from the time of Marcus Garvey, the Black Star Liner, but it is not by water, it is by celestial ships. Many of your houses have this knowledge. Ancient Jerusalem is Palestine, and we still say Palestine will represent the New Jerusalem in the Advent after 2007. Representing the millennium of Christ. So when we look for the emperor to come to chariots of fire, we're expecting to be in Palestine. But terrible things gonna happen before we even reach there, as is the situation now. People haven't gotten this knowledge yet, or is aware, but we are there as evidence, and our work is a testimony. And it is specifically for those that are baptized into the name of the emperor by their confession, knowing the emperor Haile Selassie I is Jesus the Christ. With that knowledge and confession and baptism now, it gives you the prerogative or that area for accommodating you for repatriation.
that took over me once I started learning about Africa, started learning about my heritage and stuff. It was great. It was overwhelming. It was something that it was far beyond what I was thinking. I couldn't believe it was happening, but yet it was happening. That's why I say it had to be the calling of the Almighty.
Our poor parents struggle for us to be here. The younger generation today is not going to sit by like us. They are going to take action. And the only action that is good around here is to educate our people, and after we educate them, we will move forward in the right direction.
Younger generation, one of the great things is that we understand where we were and where we are now. So we should be able to creatively plan where we're gonna go.
Put Marcus Garvey philosophy in the schools. It's years we have preached that. Years we have tried to get them to do that. To put Marcus Garvey in the school. You know, we see them kind of put it in the university where them start to show people in the university. But we're not at our university now. We're talking about from the young age. Teaching people them about Marcus Garvey. You know, you see a total difference in them understanding and them self-esteem of how them see themselves as black people in Jamaica. You understand? These are the things that Rasta, you talk about proactive thinking. These is the thing that Rasta has been saying for years. But nobody listens to Rasta because Rasta is keeps saying that Haile Selassie is the Almighty. Nobody want to hear you say a man in Ethiopia is God. They want to hear you say Jesus Christ. And we born Jesus Christ. Right down to the ground we born him, right? We don't know Jesus Christ something. So when people hear you say these things now, them say, right, what kind of people them this? Look at them here, them smoke too much ganja and things. That's not a politically correct thing to do in Jamaica. Yet still what we are saying and what we are striving for is more correct.
The most important resources of any country is its people. So the more the more you invest in education, and in particular early childhood education, then when they reach adults to go on to workforce, then you can have a rich, literate society. We are influenced and motivated by the utterance of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I. And one of the fundamentals is literacy, being educated.
Most of the people in the world today are Rip Van Winkle. You know what I'm saying? He's a man who went to sleep for a long, long time, and when he woke up in a different place, you know. You see, the third world people all salvation depend on their educational ability. That's the survival of this earth tomorrow world. If you can't read and write, a proper skill, then man, you finish. And prison is an industry. It's a workhouse. You understand? It contributes to multinational corporation. So they want prisoner all the while.
Abona Fox, he's from this community, and he contributed over the years to the development. So when he decided to build a school, it's just another aspect of development.
Before Garvey, there was no red, black, and green. Garvey came and gave them the red, black, and green. We give them God, for greater than Garvey is here. You know what I'm saying? 925, Garvey gave the black American hope and pride. With red, black, and green, we come and give the green, gold, and red with the lion, man. Strength and purpose.
Utterance of Emperor Selassie I.
I've been a member, foundation member, from the inception, 1983. It was founded by the Abona Abuna Emmanuel Fox. He's a spiritual leader of the church.
First, we promote that it is wrong for a man to leave a woman and go with a man. It is wrong for a woman to leave a man and go with a woman. We don't like criminal, people who walk and steal, because 2 commandments was given to man. First, be fruitful and multiply. And second, sweat of one brow, one should eat bread. Those are the criteria we put emphasis on.
Over the years, he's been doing agitating for Rasta rights, you know, from London to New York to Jamaica, while some other Rasta, you know, might go on other different avenues, you know. He stick to it, you know, the church, you know, and the political party, because it's essential. The church, Apostolic Selassie the First, is for the people, you know. It is growing. It is growing, you know. But each time, you know, Virgin more realize, you know, the whole situation, you know, that it's not backbush thing, in a bush, we can't go in the bush anymore, you know, because His Majesty crowned in a chapel, you know, in a church, you know. Ethiopia is occupied by the Marxist-Leninists people, you understand, who doesn't entertain modern Ethiopianism, the Solomonic dynasty. It has to be restored for repatriation, because at this point of time, they are flying, they say it's a flag, which is not Ethiopian flag, it was given to us by His Imperial Majesty.
Until we have liberation of Ethiopia, restoration, then it suffices first, there is no repatriation. I can't live in Ethiopia, I'm wanted by the Ethiopian government. Because I'm an activist, I'm a Rasta politician.
Rastas have somehow felt that involvement in the political process in this country is the surest guarantee of being able to accomplish the goals of Rastas, particularly the repatriation.
Now, if you read the Bible and you believe in God and you know the Spirit of Jesus lives on and was revealed in His Imperial Majesty, and you believe that, and you believe that Ethiopia is Mount Zion, you would want to be there.
I've been to Ethiopia myself, the inspiration of 12 tribes of Israel. And as a member, I used to pay 25 cents, just like every other member. And those monies would be used to buy tickets to send those brethren and sisters who were in line to go to Ethiopia. And we usually go to the airport, put our banner, sing the Ethiopian national anthem, and watch British Airways leave with them.
The 12 tribes considered it a program of action that it had the means to seek to send its and repatriate its members.
There is a big community in Shashamane today, because I have been there myself. You know, and let me say, repatriation is not what a lot of us brethren and sisters think, because let me tell you, you have to be able to repatriate yourself. You shouldn't have to wait on anyone to repatriate you. But in the event you can't, hopefully there will be a system in place that will be able to help those who can't. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, people have to get themselves ready and make the move. Why do you think you have airline? The airline, fly go there and you buy airline ticket. You save your money and you do what you need to do. Don't sit down and wait for a miracle to take you there, because it's not going to work like that.
I was walking around there in Ethiopia, looking around, and then I said, where's the nearest hospital here in Shashamane? And they said, well, it's 6 hours away in Addis Ababa. 6 hours away. But it's like a vision I got. Something said to me, 6 hours away? Oh, we need a hospital here.
Shashamane is that land that was given to the Ethiopian World Federation by Haile Selassie. So there's a sentimental thing that is attached to Shashamane by a lot of Rastafari.
I was the person who built the first concrete house in Shashamane in the early 60s. I bought the tractors from the pipe, was the first person there. I paid the tax to Shashamane. But 74, those people in Shashamane betrayed Haile Selassie. When I said to them, say, listen, go underground and fight with the rebels, They say no.
After I came back and I organized the Nurses of Israel, then we start to go back every year from 1999 to 2002. Every year we go down, pay our airfare and everything, go down there and we do a health fair. And the government allow us to use a little makeshift clinic down there to do the health fair. And they recognize the work we did. And so when we asked for land, they said, oh, you have to now become an NGO, be an NGO. It took us like 3-4 years to get the NGO status there.
There's no Shashaman. It's about 5 acres now. It was taken away by the Maori people. There's no Shashaman. There's bullshit, man. It's all lie, man. For the past 20 they've been collecting money to build hospital. Where the money go? You know, and Melis doesn't accept Rasta. So how could I support a Melis program to build an hospital in Shashaman? It doesn't work that way, man.
We really need people to get involved. We need nurses to get involved. We need doctors to get involved. We need all the help we can get.
Some will now speak of repatriation as a spiritual journey rather than an absolute physical one. A spiritual journey in that you have to, it's incumbent on every black person, this kind of repatriation.
Selassie the first, Ido Selassie,
If you is a Rastafarian first, you're repatriated spiritually. But the physical thing, no, it's out. Until liberation and the dynasty establishes itself, there's no repatriation. So what we're doing, we use the third world as our base. Jamaica is a base, Trinidad is a base, Guyana is a base, we retrain people.
Blessed be Jah!
Prepare them intellectually and professionally, because Ethiopia need skilled people when repatriation come back again.
Whenever time them think is the right time, that up to them. When the time right for Jah, at that time, well, the time always right, because the time is always here. So what are we waiting for to be right? Time is already here. It's here. It has been here.
You have to understand the historical trajectory of the Jamaican people, the black Jamaican people, in a context of slavery, in a context of resistance against slavery, and along with that, the resistance against the denigration of Africa, of things African, of the color of one's skin and all of that. And it is this that gave rise to the Rasta movement.
Seeing now that the people, the majority are what you refer to as Christians, they look upon us as Eden, not realizing that the white Jesus is foolishness. Can you only research that to Michelangelo era? And instead the Bible speak of a black Christ. They have the time also to realize that the black risen Christ is now the lion emperor Selassie. So when we know defend King Selassie, it's like we're trying to tear down their religious principles.
I trod up in a Rastafari in all its different aspects. Jungle, we say jungle, you know, we're there in the bush, high tal and all these things, right? And there was no concept, Judeo-Christian concept, until you come into Kingston and you hear people talk about Christ and these things. And what you find that because we have maintained that Judeo-Christian mindset, it has not enabled us to accept African retentions. Most Rastaman will fight against voodoo, obi and all these things and revivalism because him don't see these African things. And Christianity don't allow you to accept other cultures that is not theologically inclined to Christianity.
The Christian faith is a conqueror faith. It was established AD 325 at Nicaea by Constantine. The letters of Paul, that was what created that slavedom in Jamaica. Because in the 14th century, the British said they come to Christianize us, was to Protestanize us. So I reject that. Church is not here to convert people. Church is to correct the abuse and inculcate, disseminate. It's a democracy, they're free to come. We're not committed to convert people, no. You know what I'm saying? We come here to correct the abuse. Say to you, as an Ethiopian, you can't accept the conqueror faith. You can't be a Muslim, you can't be a Christian because that's a conqueror faith. It tends to be your father. You have to be a Rasta. That indigenous belief, that Rasta. Because if I'm a Christian, I'm fraud, man. If I'm a Muslim, I'm fraud. Because I go to Mecca, it's a Caucasian after Bauta. You know what I'm saying? I go to Rome, I go to a Caucasian. So I couldn't be a Christian or a Muslim. I have to be a Rasta. Total, capital B-L-A-C-K. Black theology. Total. If not, I become a criminal, man. The myth for that we reject the Christian faith. That myth of going to heaven. Because we sit and watch our mom and dad work all their life and leave the money to the church. They did not leave a legacy for us. And some of our brethren died in poverty because they were told to be a good boy and when you die you go to heaven. Now, I reject that because our belief didn't really entertain that. So long time ago, we never have no problem and hang up with this Jesus thing and this heaven thing. You know what I'm saying? So the myth for Haile Selassie is our God. It motivates us and stimulates us. Because historically, when we check Melelek to Selassie, they actively participate. They work as a man. And you see, before the advent of the Caucasian concept, civilization, we were civilized. You understand what I'm saying? We worship God as a man.
Thousands upon thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. Amen.
You see, the Church of Haile Selassie is the Daniel. We have Ethiopian people in this country, Rasta people, who are supposed to be saved. Now, when they asked for a sponsor, the church came for them to save them. The prisoners in the state facility, they need a sponsor for the church to worship Haile Selassie as God because they won that right in the Supreme Court. But they had to have a sponsor, a church. He came for that purpose. I didn't came here to work for Babylon. No. Babylon is Babylon. No, the church in the prison system assists the prisoners to keep their sanity, to do their time. You know what I'm saying? And we counsel them. We give them hope in themselves. And we train them to become Levites they don't want to worship. You know what I'm saying? Because you got cemetery prison. And you only got 5 Rasta chaplain. So we train people, we establish educational class that help them. You know, and we have prisoners here today. Finished 22 years, 17 years. People were here this today. They're baptized and they came back here to worship God, to find peace in themselves.
My father, he left England and came and visited me when he heard that I was in jail. So he came and told me that, you like Rasta? So he said, you know the Abuna? I said, no, I heard of him. But he said, well, he got a lot of churches in here. If you want to be a Rasta, you should get to meet him. You know, he'll lead you a good way. You know, that's the right people to be around.
In the prison system, we try to give the prisoners that open themselves. But what we say to the prison that irrespective you may be a murderer, you can get forgiveness. It depends on your contribution to humanity.
I moved from downstate and I moved to a different facility. The first person came up to me, a Jamaican came up to me and says, "Hey, Rasta man, you know we have a Rasta church in here?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Yeah, and it's Friday." And then when I went there, it is like that's what I've been looking for because I've been seeking, you know, for understanding.
We let the person become aware that he's a divine person because he was made in the image of God. So God may kill people, it doesn't make any difference. If he can meditate in his law, he can get forgiveness.
Today I'm out here working with the city and rather than out there selling drugs, because before I met the church I was thinking of how to come out and even sell more drugs until I met the church. And then, you know, it showed me that that's not the right way. You know, you got to go by the law. The church is about the law. Because Haile Selassie, you know, with the center of the church, he's the lawgiver. And he take up the throne just like how Moses was the lawgiver. He's the same Hafiz. And he become also the lawgiver. He doesn't deal with lawbreakers. I'm a nationality of Jamaica. and an Ethiopian sovereign. My sovereignty is Ethiopia, and a citizen of America.
Stop call yourself Afro-American because you were born here as a national, or you're a sovereign of Ethiopia. Because you can't be of both words. Stop saying I'm African-American. He's a fraud, man. He's an Ethiopian.
Rasta has to be judged, not the quantum of the adherence and so on, but the quality of its impact. And that kind of quality you have to find within the general culture. The changes in meaning that Rasta has brought about, of what it means to be black, you know, of what hair is.
If you call me a dreadlocks, that is insulting me, right? In Jamaica, I would take a big stone and lick in the face to call me a dreadlocks. Because the word D-R-E-A-D is fair, criminal. I'm a Rastafarian. You understand? I'm a locks profile me as a man of God. When we say God, we don't say God as a metaphysical being, we say God as a liberator.
Christianity is all about control and fear. That's all it does. It makes you fearful and make you control you through fear. See? And that is what these guys, Bush and them friend, Bush is Jesus Christ, you know. Time of the world under fear. It's not Al-Qaeda afraid, I know. You think it's Al-Qaeda afraid? I don't afraid of Al-Qaeda blood clot.
The United States is a part of Rome, you know. The United States take orders from Rome, like how our people take orders from America.
Rasta doesn't take up arms. You know, its resistance is through witness and testimony.
We don't carry guns, because there's no need for no guns. We don't carry weapons, fire. We don't need no guns, no weapon. Because we are not at war with no one. Our warfare is spiritual, through word, sound, and power. We will leave off of this hill here by 207. The whole place will come on fire. Because America, and it's not hatred, because I spend years there, is what I know I'm telling you. There's terrible secrecy there, and George Bush will call for this mark here. Hey, before 205 or into 205, you will have to decide about the microchip, because that's what the large man going to bring out to consolidate, which means harness the world's people and its resource. We are prepared. So now, because of the action of George Bush into Iraq, using that oil or wanting that oil to prop up his falling economy because of the World Trade Center problem, it has brought the world trouble, and further trouble will come because he does not plan to come out of those people country, and it will bring the third World War III. It's just a little time.
What am I fight for? 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 I just say my world order. Them want to cross every country border. Now I take not at them, I go deal in the harder. All about the present chica by computer, yo. We prophesy by the father, this I want and them a hit me.
Trade center get come. I hit make them go ban Pentagon. I hit make them put down a Afghanistan. I hit make a Arafat send suicide bomb. I hit make Sharoma say that Arafat wrong. I hit make the whole of them come in and they gang. The whole of them took pass and they go for them again. But them a fight back, I just see new world order.
Hold up that. More fire, man. I listen, yeah. And quench the fire.
America, by George Bush, obviously was supported by Congress, because Congress black him, he couldn't do it. That's where judgment is coming, friend. America went against their brother. I mean brother, because they are members of the same organization. Am I speaking the truth here? Iraq and Iran. America, all of them are members of the United Nations, and that is a family.
Them a pick us every country border. Now take not at them a go deal in the harder. Roll about no process cigar by computer. Oh, the prophesy by the father. Some make out of them a hit me. Too much thing all a one. Hit me unwanted baby a laban. Hit make them hungry till them a lion. Hit make them music from a dust till dawn. Or righteousness the rest of man a perform. Whatever fight for I just see new world order.
And you have heard the man. He names out some country the axis of evil, but it is to bring the world into a terrible crisis. And that is what we are looking for within the next 2 to 3 years. Invasions all over, yes.
Them a pick pass every country border. Now take not at them a go deal in the harder. Roll about the present chica by computer, yeah. If I prophesy by the father, this a one and them a hit make. Trade center get come on them a hype for. You want them a fight for you. But let me have to ask the whole of the world.
God Almighty did not send them. The United Nations did not send them. But they went, and they rained on fire out of heaven. They destroyed the old, the young, the middle age, hey, the ladies, the children, the forestry, they punish that nation.
Every shot of you, them on a shot off of Adam. Like how George Bush want to shoot down Saddam. When me take them out of Satan, them a pattern. Righteousness, and when me say they no reckon. Word that this one King Selassie have the weapon. So me up me half up and them what them dip and them me go for them.
Let me show you another evil. It was done in the 1930s by Viva la Douche. Mussolini at Rome invade Ethiopia when Emperor Haile Selassie was King of Kings and Lord of Lords. No one would help Emperor Haile Selassie to defend his defenseless nation from this huge monster from Rome, Mussolini. And Mussolini came over there in Ethiopia. And the same thing that George Bush did in Iraq. Mussolini rained down bombs upon the defenseless, innocent Ethiopian Rufus. Kill off millions. He used two gases that were referred to as mustard and parrot gas and kill off the innocent people. The emperor went to Geneva conference and appealed to them and showing them the problem and the atrocities of the Italians against his innocent nation. No one would offer him any help because at that time, when you look at this, the pomp of Rome, true wealth, and you look at this small, backward, medieval, ridiculous looking nation, they didn't see the necessity to help this little king here. What they want instead was to see Mussolini override him, devastate him, capture the country and abuse the resource as George Bush is doing today.
Them a fight for and just say no world order. Them a pick us every country border. Now take not them a go delay the harder.
No matter how much Syria you attack, or Iran you attack, and all these people attack, if you don't see, say, countries like Jamaica is suffering because of certain World Trade Organization, because of certain things that is in place. If you look at Latin America, most of the dictators that pass through Latin America, is American policy put them there. Understand? It's American policy make Saddam the way there. It's American policy make Bin Laden. When Bin Laden a fight against Russia and them, it's American policy put them there. You understand? So me can't really just look on the TV and read them news and read them Bible and feel say boy right now it's so the thing go what them say. You understand? It's illusion. The whole away here live in an illusion, man.
When I speak of Babylon, I speak of Babylon in its entirety activities in the world. And the Rome is the seat of Babylon. Rome, Pope of Rome, is the seat of Babylon. And it's Babylon who instruct. It's Babylonian people destroy other people.
Rome, Constantinople, the great civilization. Babylon on a colonizer was strong like Americanite. But God in history, defeat America, no question about it. I don't wish that. But God in history, God worked through history.
Lucifer knows what is my mission. Lucifer knows that I am ordained, chosen to sensitize the people of an imminent danger, such as a microchip, and he knows of the mission and so forth, why we are in the mountain.
I ain't even thought I would have the chance to be in the Lord's house, be even a part of the Lord's gathering. I didn't, and now that I know that I have the chance, trust me, I'm being as humble as I can, that brother, I'm being as humble as I can. To Rastafari, King Haile Selassie is the Almighty God. And I am alone can humble people like I and I that have that fierce and anger inside. He's the only one know how to kindle that fire and keep it very low until he comes and set judgment upon who's supposed to be judged.
2007 is our 2000. Year 2000 come already. You know what I'm saying? You got a problem now. Yeah, you have Afghanistan, you got Korea. Inside the belly, you got people who reject the federal system because betray them. You understand? So it's a pot boiling. Now 2007 is our judgment in our book. It's a judgment on earth. The real 2007.
By fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. No, it is so, because the world have gone too far from a long time, and now that it's coming to the end, the wise people know They are getting further and further away from the Almighty, and it is because of materialism.
We understand how the politics shape and how it work against black people, especially black people. But Rastafari is giving that salvation, that hope, to say, look here man, the way of life here can allow you to bob and weave it, to dodge it, to move from it. You know, this is a way of life that is us, but we lost it somewhere in colonialism. We lost it between the Atlantic, between Ghana and Jamaica. And we are going to find it back now, even though we find ourselves in an oppressive state. But because of that spirituality that didn't leave us, it now awakened through Rastafari. We are saying now, we are offer that now to black people. And so now. And in Canada, in England, in America.
The liberty of Rastafari remains one and the same. And whether you are in America or you are in Europe, your discipline, your way of life is liberty, you know. Other people prepare to die, you prepare to live.
We live internally. So we can be in the heart of Babylon and still live in Rastafari liberty.
There are millions of people who never even come to Jamaica yet, that is locked in, smoking herbs and talking about Jah, Rastafari, red, gold and green, and living a different kind of lifestyle than what them used to. And all because them did listen to Bob Marley, I listen to Peter Tosh, Burning Spear and all these people. That to me is one of the greatest. The greatest thing is not, you see, people feel say you have to join them to beat them. I don't feel say you have to join Babylon, or them I say join Babylon to beat Babylon. You know, we've done inside it already.
I didn't come here because my name is Senator Fox. It's not Senator Fox, it's the Abona, the God side. It's my circular side, Babylon and the like. But my God said the Abona is here. But if I ever try, so I leave tomorrow morning. But whenever my work is done, through the scripture, I will leave.
What the Rasta man is trying to do now, he's trying to live, he's trying to bob and weave himself. Like he's moving in and out of all these things. Trying his best to not be a part of that oppressive state that has been oppressing people for over the years. And one of the greatest ways to destroy oppressive states is to live your state. One of the greatest ways to confront somebody is to don't confront them. You know, they say the man who can meditate on top of a mountain where no one is a great man. But the man who can meditate in a market with knives is the greater man.
A land far, far away, where there's no night, there's only day. Look into the book of life and you will see that there's a land far, far away, that there's a land far, far away. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords sit upon his throne and he rules us all. Look into the book of life and you will see that he